Cowabunga and welcome to School Health Presents Talkin Tech with Dr. Ray. As you can see, Lammykins and I are all ready for the summer. In this particular video, we're going to talk about something that we tend to see around beaches and pools during the summer months that can be used in so many different ways and then carried into the regular academic year as we move forward. So let's start. First, I'm going to ditch the shades here. And then I'm going to bring up something we might all be familiar with, the pool noodle. Why do I love the pool noodle? Well, I love it for so many different ways. There's so many activities we can do with it. Let's stay on the inside for a little bit. Those of you with whom I've worked as developing sensory rooms or other activity rooms know that I love taking pool noodles and doing this in place of a ball pit. Cut the pool noodle up into 3-inch chunks. So now you're going to have these 3-inch little round areas and put those into the ball pit instead of balls. It still allows our individuals to go in, to submerge, to get sensory feedback all around. But the one thing it does that's different than balls in the pit is when that individual comes up and goes to throw a ball and throws it across the room, out of the pit, maybe hitting someone, this 3-inch chunk is not going to do the same thing. Matter of fact, try it yourself. Cut a 3-inch piece off and go and try and throw it across the room. It's not going to go far. And even if it were to hit someone, let's say still in the ball pit, it's not going to really create a lot of pain or do any damage too. So you can use this chunked up as an alternative to a ball pit. So the second thing we can do is kind of along the same way, but now it goes to increasing the grip size for a handle. Have you ever had an individual who wanted to help maybe sweep the sidewalk while cutting the lawn, or wanted to dig into the sand with a hand spade, but that handle was too small for them to really grip? Get a pool noodle. Cut the pool noodle a little bit less than the length of the handle and slide the handle into the pool noodle side. Now what you have is a more readily accessible grip for that individual to be digging in the sand, to be helping sweep while we're doing yard work outside. It's just another alternative as to a way that you can use that pool noodle and really engage that individual in other activities. Speaking of other activities, let's go back to that sensory room I mentioned a few moments ago. Another thing I like to do with this is to actually cut pool noodles in half and then take an area of a room, especially when we're trying to get sensory input, and put those halves against a section of the wall. Why? What does it create? Well, it creates feedback, but it creates feedback in multiple ways. First of all, that wall becomes a little bit bumpy as they move their hand down it, and you still have the texture of the pool noodle going around. Now, the other thing they can do is lean their backs up against it too and get sensory feedback that way. Keeping that in mind with sensory feedback, you can use it as a fidget too. Again, cut off a small piece, let them hold on to it, maybe even loop a string around where they wear it around their neck and they can actually grab onto it, or they have it attached to a backpack. Even if an individual's in a wheelchair, you can actually cut this open and fit it around different areas of the frame so that, again, there's some texture going in. Now it's for another fun summer activity that we're used to. I'm going to have to pull out the larger size pool noodle for this. Well, what about a game of tag? Well, some of our individuals can't actually play tag. They might be in a wheelchair. They might be in a walker. Suddenly, if you change tag to where you're using pool noodles and that's what's tagging the other individuals, you can now become a little more inclusive. That way, an individual can reach out and be able to tag individuals all around them. And by everybody using this, guess what? You've now included so many more people into that game that you might not have been able to in the past. So I hope that you're able to take those pool noodles and use them for so many different things. If you've got other ideas, please feel free to let me know. But I want you, as does Lammykin, to have a great summer and include everyone, because summer should always be fun, safe, and accessible. I thank you for all that you do, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere down the road.